condition itself is not enough.
Dear Mr. Massa, I'm just trying to mind my own business. What's the matter? It's just another day, another black king captured. I'm about to lose my brain, stuck inside this ghetto rapture. I got a lot of smoke. If you want it, you can have it. They want a hat trick, but this is black girl magic. Ain't talking about the kind that'll make you disappear, but I'm talking about the power of the melanin within. Ain't looking for trouble, but I'ma say this one time. I put two dukes up if you try to touch mine. We still want justice for Samir and Trayvon. You say you don't see color, but racism ain't blind. They targeting little kids whose skin look just like mine. So I'm paranoid, it's a war zone outside. And I'm a black queen, so if you ask me to step out of my car, you gon' have to snatch me. Cause I ain't going no damn well. Had to spend my whole life living unfair. Ancestors got my back and they right here. You can never understand, it's a nightmare. Living in my black shoes by the black rules. You can keep your handshake, I don't dap coons. The white man that go nuts if he can't shoot. But you all on his side like a damn fool. Make it make sense.
We are oppressed.
Queen.
We are exploited. We are downtrodden.
Make it make
We are
sense.
denied not only civil rights, but even human rights.
Ahmadiyyah.
So the only way we're going to get some of this
Ahmadiyyah.
oppression and exploitation
Queen.
away from us or aside from us is come together
Queens.
against the common enemy. Who taught you to hate the texture of your
Ahmadiyyah.
hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin?
Ahmadiyyah.
Parents, pay attention to the books, the school system, even to your little children. Lies mixed with wisdom. His skin too bright, so he was blind to the prison. My skin just right, so I collide with division. You trying to pray to God, but we tired of religion. No savior saving, we got to save our savings. We used to pay miss, how we gon' make the slave rich? But who's to blame, and tell me why you complaining? We need a team effort just to rule the nation. Like a bad relationship, missing communication. We missing moderation. They're trying to get a poison to my population. No reparations. I'm getting tired of Satan.
We are oppressed.
I'm
Queen.
getting tired of waiting.
We are downtrodden.
Queen.
We are denied not only civil rights, but even human rights.
Ahmadiyyah.
We get some of this
Ahmadiyyah.
oppression and exploitation.
All right. Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning back in once again to the original Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur show. I'm your host, Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur, and this is your morning wake-up call. So as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time Queen Goddess goes live. All right. So with that being said, let's see who is in here. Hello, Terry Hitton, the Crazy Beach Aries, 504 NOLA. Cookie is in the virtual building. Okay, Nee, I see you, beloved. Let's get into it. Okay, Buckhorse DC. All right, we the people. Dina is here. All right, Nessie X, Warriors. All right, Nubia Ra. Quiet Storm. Danielle, Chris B. Okay, Queen of Mona Huey, Ashkan. All right, Blessed. Okay, Charlotte, let's get into it. Shout out to all of my loyal royals and everyone tuned into the Queen, and a big shout out to my moderators because y'all know they be putting in work. Okay, now listen, excuse me, this case just keeps getting more and more interesting because more information comes out. You can only hide the truth but for so long. With that all being said, the video that I did last night, I actually forgot to show you all a very important receipt. I didn't think about it until I got off of the live, but I'm going to show it to you today. Okay, so that all being said, before I get started, does anyone need a recap before we move forward? Once in the chat if you need a quick recap. Once in the chat. Also, I'm going to be live again at 2 o'clock for those of you who want the war updates. Okay, it's a whole lot of nefariousness going on with the war, and so we're going to talk about that at 2 o'clock. I've been keeping up with it, but I have not been reporting on it. Okay, so with that all being said, let's get ready to get into it. We'll start off with a brief word from my sponsor. Okay, so nobody needs a recap. Okay, great. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Likes up, everyone, please. Like and share. Thank you in advance. Here we go.
Do not buy 12 Tribes on Earth hair growth oil and hair magic elixir unless you want super healthy, gorgeous hair that grows. They have a whole line of amazing hair growth products, including hair growth leave-in conditioner spray, hair growth shampoo, hair growth spray, and hair growth butter. I'm starting to sense a theme here. They include quality natural ingredients. They smell amazing, and you can see the results for yourself. So if you're looking for healthy hair growth for your natural or relaxed hair, try 12 Tribes on Earth today.
Okay, so don't forget you can purchase 12 Tribes Hair Oil at Etsy.com. Just look for Lisa Crafts. You can also find her products at Walmart.com. And don't forget that she sells beard oil. Okay, so with that all being said, let's get into it. Now, the first thing I want to go to is there is a report from News Nation where they actually had several people who saw the video footage at the school. Okay, where they say that Karmelo, there was like 4 of them. So we're going to go to that footage first. Okay, lights up, everyone, please like and share. There was a lot of very important information that was left out of the trial. Okay, it was not entered in as evidence, and there was no logical reason for it not to be. Okay, at the end of the day, it's very, very interesting that they didn't take that real video to court and that the defense didn't argue for it because the defense absolutely knew that they had it. Okay, please pay attention. This was all a sham. Okay, Kangaroo Court clearly.
Have with us is people who actually saw the controversial video of Austin Metcalf and Karmelo Anthony, and they're going to speak to that. They're going to speak to exactly what they saw when they introduced their public information request. And I think that you're not going to be surprised by what they saw, but we want to make sure that we get this information out to the public. So we'll start with T. Sturdy.
Hi, my name is actually Tony Sturdivant. Again, I was one of the ones that saw the video. It's kind of bewildering that it doesn't align with the testimony that was presented. What I saw in the video was
Keep your voice up.
What I saw in the video was actually more than 4 kids. There were 6 kids.
Can you hold it? We can hold it. Okay. Yep. Hold it.
Yeah. There were actually 6 kids that walked up in the stadium. 2 splintered off. 4 went directly to Karmelo Anthony. And there was a brief conversation.
You're going to start over. Sorry.
All right. Start over?
Yeah. That's clean. Start. Keep your voice up.
All right. Yeah, so again, my name is Tony Sturdivant. I was one of the individuals that put in a FOIA request to see the video. What I saw was starkly different from the testimony that I heard given in the trial. There were 6 kids that walked.
Hold on, guys. I want to address a comment. December Red says Dominique Alexander led a pro-terrorism that ended in the death of 5 police officers. He was also convicted of shaken baby syndrome of a 2-year-old little girl who still cannot talk to this day. Well, here's the thing about that. If he ended the lives of 5 police officers, I would like to know why he isn't in prison, because clearly he should be. But also, we've heard about the shaken baby syndrome. I've mentioned that myself several times. I don't really particularly care for Dominique Alexander. But the thing is, what does that have to do with Karmelo? You act as though that has some sort of, put some sort of smudge on Karmelo's character. It does not. Now, it is not his fault that his parents picked that man as someone to be their spokesperson. But also, I find it very interesting that you choose to point that out. But what you don't point out is the fact that the DA, Greg Willis, and his assistant DA, Wertsky, they both had sexual harassment allegations against them. And I will be showing a portion of the lawsuit. With that being said, you also didn't mention that Jeff Metcalf, Austin and Hunter's father, is an sexual offender. And that has everything to do with Austin and his brother, because that goes to show how his father being someone who would commit that sort of crime and also being accused of being a bully, even at the courts, is where they got their personality traits from. Okay, Dominique Alexander is no relation to Karmelo. He's merely a talking head. Okay, he's their spokesperson. Sadly for them, I think they could have done a much better job, but his crimes have absolutely nothing to do with Karmelo Anthony. And if you think that it does, that's just you grasping at straws. Okay, but let's continue.
Walked up, 2 splintered off. I guess that part of was introduced in the trial where they went to deflect the coach. The other four walked directly to Karmelo Anthony. There was a brief conversation, I say maybe 20, 30 seconds. And from there, a scuffle ensued. It didn't last long. Karmelo backed out the back of the canopy. He looked one way, looked to the left, and flew down those bleachers. Now, this is the video that was presented to us. This is the questions that I have, though. Why wasn't that video presented in court? And is it the true video? Because, again, it's starkly different from the testimony given in the trial. Karmelo Anthony flew down those bleachers, fell at the bottom of the bleachers, got up, took off. It was maybe 2 or 3 kids that you could see kind of give chase, but Karmelo was gone, so they weren't even going to put a finger on him and touch him. Again, there was a scuffle that ensued at the top of the bleachers, and Karmelo got it there. But I don't know why that was not brought up in court. I don't know why that was shown. I don't know if the ISD gave us a bogus ass video. I don't know, but that's what I saw.
Hello, everybody. I'm an advocate for Karmelo Anthony. My name is T. And when I went to see the video, they ask if you want to see it from either 2 minutes before the stabbing or 11 minutes before. So I chose 11 minutes. From the moment she pressed play, Karmelo Anthony was already sitting up underneath that canopy. And he was sitting there for at least 8 to 9.5 minutes. You see, well, I saw a boy in a black hoodie go over to him first, and then they left out of the tent. And then you see coming across the field was another 6 boys.
Franklin University makes it possible.
It's kind
And then all you see is commotion. And we know from the interviews that Hunter did, we know that Hunter was, in fact, up underneath that tent. The next thing you see, you can see Karmelo in the midst of them assaulting him. You can see Karmelo trying to back out, but he gets pulled back forward. The next thing you see is Karmelo, he comes shooting out the back, but he's still not standing. And he had to like kind of crab crawl backwards, and he had to like jerk away from them because they still had a hold of his hoodie. He goes up a couple bleachers and he's looking around for which way to go. He runs diagonally down the bleachers and then he falls. At the time of him falling, that's when I noticed another 3 boys coming down the bleachers chasing after him. But once Karmelo got up, he took off. You didn't see him for the rest of the video. At no point in that video do you see Hunter holding his brother. At no point in that video do you see those boys ever going back to the tent and sitting down. That was all a lie. And I also have questions. I don't know how the defense did not play that video, because when you see that video, it was self-defense. Karmelo was only 5'8", 130-something pounds, and Austin and Hunter Metcalf were 6'1", 220-something pounds. So for people to say that he should have used his hands, people can die from fights, from people using their hands.
Now, I want you all to pay attention because what she says happened is very close to what the first person said happened, but extremely close to what the other guy who was the first one to come out. What is his name? Maurice Vincent or Cooper, something like that. I can't remember his name. But that person who came out first, okay, he said the same thing. He said Karmelo had backed out and then they grabbed him and pulled him back in. So they all jumped him. That's exactly what happened. And the reason the defense didn't show that video is because they were in on it, because they're all friends, in my opinion, just like it has been alleged. Okay, so this is absolutely going to be overturned if justice works the way that it should when they file the appeal. Well, they've actually already filed the appeal, so I've been told. Now, let's continue.
And that's all I'm going to say for right now.
So I want to say that this press conference is for people who saw the video, because we want to make sure that we get that information out there. The other thing is that we have noticed major disparities when we look up statistically the sentencing structures that Judge Roach sentences minorities under. There's at least a 75% disparity in the length of the prison sentence when the defendant is of color. And so this is a concern for us here in Collin County. I reside here, and so I am concerned as a citizen. If the law is supposed to be equal and everybody is supposed to be protected under that law, then sorry about that, that means every race of people are protected, right? And so with that being said, I'd like to thank you for giving us the opportunity to express what we saw and what we're concerned about here in Collin County.
Now, I really don't know why this guy got up here and spoke, because he didn't say anything about seeing the video, as I recall. But also, the first guy that I mentioned, that the first person who came out saying that he saw the video at the school, that was Morris Dwayne Turner. That's his name. I had written it down. So that was Morris Dwayne Turner. Okay, so now let's hear what he's talking about.
Okay, I'm sorry. You good right there? I'm Christopher King. I actually was a licensed attorney in Collin County several years ago, working with the city of Frisco on a certain project. But I'm Christopher King. My handle is KingCast online. I'm also a journalist, and I have a couple things for you briefly. Today, I have filed my request for all exhibits used at trial. We'll see how that turns out. I had mailed it in before with a self-addressed stamped envelope, didn't get a response, so I figured I'd fly down here and file it in person this time. So as to this trial, what I see as an attorney, I saw what I believe to be malpractice. And I don't know why it happened, but I will tell you a couple of quick reference points. Number one, he allowed those students, young people, not professional people, to testify as to ultimate issues of fact, such as, was it murder or not? Yes. Was there provocation?
Now, I want you all to pay attention, because these are the things that I absolutely pointed out. Okay? These are the things that I absolutely pointed out. Okay, so please pay attention.
Karmelo provoked him. That's not how it works. You have to make them elocute as to what Karmelo did to allegedly provoke a situation. That's how it works. And when you don't object to it in the cases in chief, you cannot come back later post hoc and then ask the judge and complain about it in a jury charge. There were also no expert witnesses produced, no use of force expert, no jury professional consultant.
Okay, I told you all that as well yesterday. I said there was no self-defense expert that came in. They had not one single expert witness other than the forensic person who did the autopsy, okay, and who talked about the size of the knife and all of that. But they didn't. This was a whole sham. There were so many things they could have done to prove their case, because the prosecution really didn't prove their case. Their witnesses, every last one of them, told lies, changed their stories.
Consultant was there that I know of. Okay, so these are all very serious questions on this case, and I don't understand it, but I don't like it, and I think this is the proverbial travesty of justice that we have just witnessed here, and there needs to be an investigation. It's not right. It's just not right. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for your.
Are you close with the family?
So I am. I actually speak with them. And so
What's next now?
So what's now? And this is what I stated at the beginning. What's next now is definitely a fight for justice. It's definitely a fight. They are definitely ready to file an appeal, which an appeal has officially been filed today. They're ready to move forward with seeing Karmelo get justice and seeing him getting a fair trial. That is all that they wanted from Collin County, was a fair trial. And unfortunately, and I did attend some of the proceedings, and unfortunately, it does not appear to me that they received a fair trial, that Karmelo received a fair trial. So what's next for them is supporting their son, and we as advocates, we're going to continue to support Karmelo and support the family, and they're going to continue to fight for justice, and we'll be right there on the side of them. Thank you. So I'm not at liberty to speak to that, and that information has not been disclosed. So I don't want to speak on that right now.
Did you have any questions for us?
No, we're good.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, now with that all being said, let me hit a couple of these comments. Okay, so Gigi Cake says, question, was there any black attorneys on the defense team? I hope the Anthonys get an entire new defense. That the previous defense is trash, point blank, period. Well, beloved, they are going to have a whole new team, and they were trash. You're absolutely right, but they were trash on purpose because as I've been telling you all, Mike Howard, who was the defense, he actually is voted for 10 years in a row in Dallas, the best criminal defense attorney in Dallas. Okay. Now, December Reed says, but why would his parents allow a court appointed attorney to represent their son when they had $1 million in GoFundMe money? We all know court appointed aren't on our side. Well, here's the thing, beloved. I don't know where you're getting your information from. And if you've been following this channel, you should absolutely know that they did not have a court appointed attorney. I've said at least 10 times over the few videos that I've done, or the many videos that I've done, that Mike Howard, he's not court appointed. Okay, this man was supposed to be the best criminal defense attorney in Dallas, like I just said. That's his attorney. And you're talking about the money for the GoFundMe. I don't think it was $1 million or over $1 million. It definitely was not. It was over $600,000. They never got that money. Okay, they never received it. They didn't receive it because, for one, he was charged with a violent crime. For two, they held the money until his conviction. Once he was convicted, the money supposedly was refunded. So they never got that money. And they didn't have a court-appointed attorney. But now, since the trial has ended, they're saying that now they have issued him a public defender. Okay, that's what the jail has done, supposedly, I guess the court has done. But his parents are in the process of finding a new defense attorney. Okay, they're not going to use the same one. We already know that man was working with the prosecution, point blank and period. Okay, it's not even a question in my mind. That's exactly what he was doing. But hold on, because I have some very interesting information. And this is what I forgot to show you last night. So this is an email that was sent to the coaches out of concern because they were being bullied by Hunter Metcalf. And they also mentioned Austin, not by name, but they said they. Okay, so please pay attention. Now, also, I'm going to let you all hear Secret Service Sam's video because he actually reads more of the letter, the email, than I do. I just have a portion of it, but he had a longer version. But this is what I found, I forget where, online. Okay, so this says concerns, and it's to the coaches. The other cheerleaders and I have tried to make an effort to stay supportive and spirited throughout the football season. However, the disrespect we feel coming from some of the football players is making it very difficult. Today, after our game against Liberty, some of us cheerleaders in uniform went to Canes. While talking amongst ourselves about the loss, Hunter Metcalf stood up and yelled at my friend and fellow varsity cheerleader, yelled that she is a fat bitch. Now, I don't understand what triggers his rages, but to yell this unprovoked made us all really upset and was incredibly embarrassing for my friend as everyone in Canes looked at her and started laughing. Okay? So this is what Hunter did. But in the longer version, which you're going to hear Sam reading, she said something about they. She referred to them as they, which means that Hunter and Austin were someone who were bullies. Okay, now this right here that I'm going to share with you is the first page of the lawsuit that was in fact filed against the district attorney, Greg Willis, and his assistant attorney, okay, Bill Worski. Okay, here it is right here. As you can see, it's it's a 75-page documents. You can see all of the defendants on here. Okay? So these are receipts and facts. So anyone talking about what Dominic Alexander did should be more concerned about a shady DA who likely should have been in jail, not in a courtroom, okay, trying to prosecute someone else that he deems as a criminal who's absolutely innocent. Okay, it sounds like the real criminal is him and his assistant DA. Okay, please pay attention. Now, with that all being said, let's continue. This is a post from Melo's girlfriend that recently was posted, and I do believe that some of this with Eddie telling the lies and Eddie acting as though he wasn't friends with Karmelo, I believe that the whole entire time that Eddie was likely jealous of Karmelo and his girlfriend. Eddie said he'd known her since they were kids. Did he have a crush on her? I just have questions. Okay, now I enlarged it so you all could see it. She says, "Hold your head high, my sweet boy. You're not alone. We're fighting for you always. I love you more than words." Okay? And we can see clearly that Austin Metcalf was almost twice the size of Karmelo. And that's just him by himself. We don't even have to mention his brother Hunter and the other two boys who also attacked him, Luke and the witness. And I don't remember the witness's name. I don't think his name was said because he was a minor, so they didn't give his name. But nonetheless, 4 of them, huge, like linebackers. Okay, please pay attention. Now, with that all being said, let's go to the videos of what people are saying. And also, Greg Metcalf, I have another whole rant that he went in on, and he was dragging Karmelo's parents, talking about them like a dog. And I thought it was very interesting, seeing as how he has a whole criminal history and is a convicted S offender. Okay, I found it very interesting what he was saying about them and saying, did they teach their son hate? When he obviously taught his sons hate, if he's talking about Black people in the manner he is, which is very racist and disrespectful, and then calling Karmelo a watermelon felon. Okay, so here's a lot of nerve to be talking about them, but let's get into it.
Don't believe Hunter. I don't believe the story. So the difference between you and I is that you're accepting this story, and I don't believe it because all they did was try to make it seem like Karmelo came to the track meet looking for a fight. That they weren't the aggressors and they weren't the bullies, and you guys are accepting. You guys always do that. So why am I sad? I am sad not just for that boy. I'm sad for myself because this is a reminder that you yourself, I'm standing here in this parking lot. If 5 of y'all, there's no cameras here. If y'all were to approach me and I get unalived, you're gonna walk off because y'all gonna corroborate your story. There's nothing I can do. The only time that you guys believe it is if we have video evidence, and even then, you guys barely believe it. The one lady with a cop walked in, just as an example, I might wanna connect all these things. She was standing in there and she said, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus," and there was the boiling pot of water on the thing. Literally, y'all said, why would she grab a boiling pot of water? And the cop said, well, I thought she was going to throw the boiling pot of water on me. That's why boom, you know what I mean? Like, it takes this much. Y'all will believe anything over our own words. That's the problem.
Daddy Jeff Metcalf went on a fucking racist rant showing his whole ass last night on a stream with Sarah Fields. I'm talking about this man talked about black fatigue being real. You know what? I got clips for you. Let's get into it. First clip up is what he thinks of Charlie Kirk, and I think that says a lot.
Perfect example. Charlie Kirk, a man who I admired, looked up to.
We all know the bad shit Charlie Kirk has said. I mean, it's not a secret. Jeff here looks up to him and admires him. I think that says a lot about Jeff. Now, the next clip I'm going to show you is Jeff saying that black fatigue is real. I shit you not. Here's the clip.
Black fatigue, it's real. I'm sorry. You have embarrassed your own culture and race. Don't get me wrong. We got a lot of people that embarrass the shit out of me too. But you guys, you got a patent on that shit.
According to Jeff, black fatigue is real. His own fucking words. And then this motherfucker said that the black community has a patent on embarrassing their own community. Jeff is letting his true feelings finally be known. Let's see what he has to say about Karmelo Anthony.
Such this little boy y'all were trying to portray. How about watermelon felon? How's that one strike you? I hope he enjoyed his first night in that cell last night.
I can't even repeat what you just said, Jeff. So all that kumbaya We're not going to look at color. I don't see color. I'm not racist. You can throw that shit out the window. There is not a single person on the entire planet who isn't racist who could say what you just said. Let's see what he thinks about Karmelo's parents.
We'll see who's laughing. Drew Anthony, you're a pussy and a coward, and you raised one. Kayla, you drunk bitch. What'd you do to that boy to make him stab somebody? My God, what kind of mother are you?
Jeff, I get you being angry. You lost a son, but it's very obvious you got a lot of hate for people outside of that incident. Your words are showing who you are now that it's all over. The next clip is him stopping himself from calling Charleston White the N-word.
Charleston White, you look like a fucking crackhead. Even though you got money, you're the only smart person around.
Y'all think Jeff would have stopped himself if that was one of his buddies? No, he would have dropped the N with the hard R, the slur. He would have. Because that's who Jeff is. Everything else was a facade. Thank you for showing us who you really are, Jeff. I got more coming tomorrow because I couldn't even fit all of the shit you said into one video. That's all I got. Y'all be good.
Drew Anthony, Kayla, you're cowards. You wouldn't even show up for your son's sentencing or victim statement impact. You abandoned your kid. You left him there. I guess he's no more use to you because you can't get any more GoFundMe money or GoSendGo money. You are grifters. You should be ashamed.
Now he has the audacity to call them grifters when that's what he's doing. Why in the hell does he need a GiveSendGo account? He and the mother. Okay, now I could see if they collected money for the burial or whatever in the beginning, but why do they still have GiveSendGos? He's talking about buying a truck allegedly, and she's supposedly bought a house with 8 bedrooms. Okay, so I'm sorry, who's the real grifters here? Sounds like it's him. And D. Thomas says, just wish he'd use his hands, we wouldn't be having this conversation. Well, we certainly wouldn't. But at the end of the day, Karmelo could have been killed as far as I'm concerned. Those 4 big dudes jumping him. And then remember the guy said that one of them tried to get him in a headlock. I believe he said Austin tried to put him in a headlock. That's likely when he poked him. Okay, when he stabbed him. When Austin had him in the headlock. But at the end of the day, that's easy to say, use your hands. But when you're being jumped by 4 people and at least 2 of them are twice your size and maybe the other 2 as well, okay, what are you going to do? Fighting with your hands is not going to save you. Okay, that's just not. I would pick up whatever I could pick up. That's just me. To protect and defend myself, as we all have a right to.
Of yourself, you raised that child, and I swear to God, CPS to come check on those other 3 that you still have. You never once admitted or took accountability. You tried to play victim. The real victim is the one who died, not the one who shoved a knife in his chest. I come to pray with you and show the world we can close the gap of this unbelievable racial divide. And what'd you do? You widen the gap even further. You hire a convicted, baby-shaking felon who's only in it for the money, who gives you bad advice, kicks me out of a press conference. Oh, funny, I was somewhere I wasn't supposed to be, but I left when asked. I didn't stab anyone.
Now, I like his nerve, and he has the nerve to talk about Dominic's crimes, like I said, when he's a whole ex-offender.
And then you proceeded to gaslight me with your convicted felon, quote, advocate? Minister? Minister of what? Minister irrelevant? Minister of bullshit? How about Minister fuck you? Y'all think I'm...
I mean, he wasn't holding back, honey. He was letting us know exactly how he feels. And now it's very easy to see where his sons got their behavior from. Okay, it is what it is. So Nene says Daddy Metcalf had to hold his tongue until the trial ended. He had to vomit out all of that suppressed racism. Yes, absolutely, honey. Now he's letting it all hang out. Okay, he's bit his tongue for just simply too long. Okay, as far as he's concerned, clearly.
Saint? I'm no saint. I'm as human as you. I have emotions. Just because I'm a Christian doesn't mean I don't sin, because I don't walk on water and I don't turn into wine. And anybody else can, step up. Don't become kicking rocks in my backyard. Look in your own. The display of adults on the internet. If your children saw how you acted, would you be proud?
Sir, are you proud that your children have seen you beating their mother? They know that you cheated on the mother. They know that you're an S offender. He's the one. Okay. Does he think his children were proud of him? Is that why they beat his own ASS? Okay, please pay attention. This man is a whole mess. He has to be drunk. Okay, now Lindell says, Queen, do you remember the first time when this came out? This tragedy, the first person who spoke about racism was the dad. He planted that seed from the beginning. Yes, and now in hindsight, we can see what he was trying to do because he initially said it wasn't about race, but that was him bringing race to the forefront. Okay, very sneaky way to do it. No one had said anything about race at that point, but he came out and said this is not about race, but it was absolutely about race. And also, that's very telling that he said that. When you think about now, we see that he's such a racist. And then so his sons are likely racist, I'm sure. I mean, people have said that they've used the N-word. I haven't heard them, or so I can't say, but people have alleged that they've used the N-word. And I'm sure they learned it right from him. Okay. With that being said, maybe that's why he first came out and said, oh, this wasn't about race, because he didn't want people to think that his sons did anything because they were racist. Okay, now everything's adding up and the truth's all coming out. The truth is coming to light. You can only hide the truth for so long before it comes to the surface. Thank you for your insight into the topic, beloved, and your contribution to the channel. Peace, love, and blessings. I appreciate you. Let's continue.
Or is that what you teach them? Do you teach them that racism is okay? Do you teach them? Do you program your kids to hate, to kill? From day one, I said this was never about race. Please don't make it about race and don't politicize it. And what did you do? You chose both.
Now, I want you to pay attention how he's saying you chose both. He's trying to accuse us of making it about race when he's the one who did it. Okay. With that all being said, it is also the rest of his people, the MAGA types. Okay. I'm not talking about the good white folk who are telling the truth about this whole situation, but I'm talking about the MAGA types. They are the ones who made it about race. They start talking about a race war and then trying to flip the script and act as though we're the ones calling for it. We never said anything about a race war. Okay. They made this about race, and it's also, we know it's about race because that's why the trial went the way it did. That's why it was a whole sham of a kangaroo court. Okay, that's why he didn't get a fair trial and was railroaded because of race. Because we know that in the state of Texas, Kason Allison was charged with negligent homicide and got 10 years. And there was another young man who I believe was Latina, a white Latina, and he got 10 years probation, charged with negligent homicide. They charged Karmelo with murder, first-degree murder, when they know good and well this was never premeditated. How could you plan it when you didn't even know that the person was going to approach you or that you were going to be jumped? How could you know that? Okay, so this whole thing was just a load of BS. But let's let him continue because he has a whole lot to say.
The race card, black fatigue, it's real. I'm sorry. You have embarrassed your own culture and race. Don't get me wrong, we got white people that embarrass the shit out of me too. But you guys, you got a patent on that shit. And the only people that's going to change it are you.
Why is he talking to all black people? I want you to pay attention. This is how you know he's racist. He's talking to all black people as if we all did it. You see, this is what the devils do. And then they get upset if they even think that we're collectively painting them all with the same brush. But this is what they always do. If one of them does something, it's just that one person. Even with the Asian boycott. What are some of the Asians saying? Why are y'all trying to punish all of us for what one person did? Okay, they want to single out that one person. Don't make it about all of us. We didn't do it. But when it's black people, it's all of us. It's not just the one person that's been accused, it's all of us. He's pointing the finger at all black people, okay, and trying to chastise all of us as if we're all guilty or we're all menaces to society. But the menaces were his own sons, sadly, because they were raised by him.
Don't blame the white person because we can't change it. But you're going to blame the white person for every fucking thing else. We're the bad ones. We're the one that held you down. Guess what? You can do everything in America that I can do. Tell me one thing you can't do that I can't do.
What does any of this have to do with the trial and Karmelo being guilty or innocent and his son passing away? It has nothing to do with that. Okay, but I'm telling you, this is showing who he really is. This is what he thinks about all black people. This is what he's always thought about all black people. Him coming out in the beginning saying this is not about race was trying to defend his son and make it look as though they're not a racist family. That's all this was. That's all it was. And now I'm glad that Dominic Alexander made him leave, okay, the press conference. Because he was only coming there not on his son's behalf, but to try to paint a picture, a false narrative, and to make it look like he's some angel himself.
We all have equal rights. What's it say? All men are created equal. The First Amendment. Duran.
Where y'all white people at? If you love Austin, you would be here. But because you don't care, it's funny than a motherfucker. Where's Austin's body? No, I'm talking. Y'all don't love Austin. You don't care about Hunter. Because if you did, you would really stand in solidarity, not online, but right here. So I gotta speak for your white baby. I'll do it. I'll conjure that baby and make sure he tells the real story. Bring your white people. I really want to see that support. Don't judge me, because when I'm up, I'm up. It's okay.
Let me tell y'all something. She said, I will conjure your baby and make him tell the truth or something like that. So Just Anticipate said, not conjure. Okay. Sweet Butter said, controlled opposition. Queen Shay said, is that a man or a woman? Okay, Pathway said the same thing I was thinking. The ancestors are speaking through her. That's exactly why I played it, because that's exactly what I was thinking. I said, that sounds like the ancestors coming through, because she's talking about conjuring and going to make the truth come out. Like she's going to conjure him and make him tell the truth. Truth Brown said witchcraft. Okay, what in the witchcraft? Okay, let's continue.
It comes to the sentencing of Karmelo Anthony. I want to address my fellow white people today, right? Because as a white person, I'm a little perplexed, right? I see an abundant amount of you guys saying that it's not race. We always turn it into a race thing. It's not white versus black. But if that's the case, then help me understand this. Why are you so emotionally invested into his sentencing in the first place? If it's not about race, why is Fox News hyper-sensationalizing this one particular murder story as if people don't get murdered every single day all across the United States of America? As if people don't get sentenced for committing a murder all across the United States of America. If it's not a race thing, then just help me understand why you guys took a picture from his sentencing, a 19-year-old boy crying after realizing 35 years of his life will be spent in jail, and you turned it into your profile picture or a meme that you celebrate. I don't see you guys doing this for any of the other convictions that happen every single day by the hundreds in the United States of America. Literally every single day all across the United States of America, somebody is committing or being sentenced to murder. For murder, right? Every single day. white, black, Asian, Latino, young, old, rich, poor, female, male, all across the United States. You have hundreds of people getting convicted of felonies, and you guys don't hyper sensationalize that, turn it into a meme, or make it your profile picture. As a matter of fact, the only time I've ever seen you guys turn another convicted felon into your profile picture is when Toronto dumpster fire stole the last election. So, like, hold my hand through this, because I genuinely can't understand. If it's not about race, then how come I don't hear about any of the other stories? How come they're not your profile picture? How come when George Floyd was murdered, you guys turned him into your profile picture? It was a meme you made fun of. This is not a matter of opinion. It is a matter of fact. A man was suffocated to death during an arrest by the police, and you thought that was funny. You thought that should be your profile picture. You celebrate the anniversary of his murder every year it comes around, and I can't understand how that doesn't make you a racist, or it's not a race thing when you only do this specifically to black people, right? I don't know. Maybe my comprehension is off, but that seems pretty racist to me. Maybe you can help me out in the comments and explain to me how it isn't. I'll wait.
Let me unfuck this issue surrounding the sentencing. People online are saying, I don't understand why everyone is mad. And keep your hands to yourself. It's simple. He needs life. How wasn't this murder? The primary issue here is not specifically his guilt or innocence. The issue is why this system keeps finding nuance when sentencing some people and using a sledgehammer when sentencing others. Karmelo was 17 years old when this happened. He was convicted and sentenced to 35 years. But Kason Allison was another Texas teenager in another fatal school stabbing. And he was also charged with murder. But he got convicted of criminally negligent homicide and got 10 years. And Jesus San Miguel, another Texas teenager, another fatal stabbing. He was found guilty of criminally negligent homicide, but he got 10 years of probation and 30 days in jail. So it's not just did Karmelo stab someone. The question is, why does one teenager get treated like a murderer, another like a tragic accident, and another gets sent home on probation? And before somebody performs their little, why does everything have to be about race routine, the U.S. Sentencing Commission found that black males receive longer sentences than white males. So this is not imagination or race baiting or people just being dramatic. It's data.
I'm going straight to the car, okay? Here's a look, just keep on going. All right. All right. Come on, man. Just follow back behind us. In the next one. Just stay close, okay? Yes, sir. All right. Excuse me.
Well, you like to say to the community that's donated?
Okay, so that was Karmelo at the beginning when he was first charged. Okay, now I'm going to go to Secret Service Sam's video so you all can hear the entire email from that cheerleader. Okay, it was very telling. It was very eye-opening. Okay, let's get into it. Likes up, everyone. Please don't forget to like and share. Don't forget that I'm going live with the war updates at 2 o'clock. Okay, please pay attention.
Secret Service Sam here with a Karmelo Anthony Austin Metcalf update. Here is an email I have obtained. I believe it to be real. Just listen to this. One of the cheerleaders complaining about the twins. Coaches, the other cheerleaders and I have tried to make an effort to stay supportive and spirited throughout the football season. However, the disrespect we feel coming from some of the football players is making it very difficult. Today, after our game against Liberty, some of us cheerleaders in uniform went to Canes. While talking amongst ourselves about the loss, Hunter Metcalf stood up and yelled that my friend and fellow varsity cheerleader is a fat bitch. I don't understand what triggers his rages, but to yell this unprovoked made us all really upset and was incredibly embarrassing for my friend, as everyone is in Canes looked at her and started laughing. We see the Metcalfs act out time and time again, but we trust that there is no repercussions or some sort of consequence, so we stay out of it. But for it now to be directed towards one of the people that shows up to every game to support and cheer them on is astounding to me. After they left Canes, one of the other football players told us that Hunter said his hands were bisexual, implying that he would not only hit guys, but also girls. She is not embarrassed, but genuinely scared, especially after seeing the way he can act on the field. I'm only coming to you because I feel that you should be aware that he is acting like this in public spaces, which is not good for our school's representation and is discouraging us from keeping the cheerleading them on. I'm sorry for even having to come to you about this, but after tonight, it truly feels like it's getting out of hand. I recognize that he may be upset that we lost, but there is no justification for the way he treated my friend tonight. I would also appreciate for my name to stay confidential, as I fear what they would do if they knew. Why did Mike Howard not enter this in Karmelo Anthony's defense? There's so much that has been left out of this trial that we will keep it awake, and I will always expose their secrets for the community. Secret Service Sam Out Sampson for president of the world.
Okay, all crazy, but I'm gonna go to another video that Sam did where Sam says, okay, because people are at her lying, okay, he says the same thing that I told you all, okay, about the money. They did not receive any money. I don't know why people keep saying that. I wonder if Sarah Fields is the one who spread that rumor. I think she is.
Secret Service Sam here. So this is wild to me. Karmelo Anthony's Give, Send, Go campaign that was up to $625,000, which, by the way, his parents didn't take and buy a house or luxury cars. They paid for their attorney. That has already been debunked and confirmed by the family. Mike Howard was not a public defender. They paid that man. To do what? I'm not really sure. Anyway, I'm digressulating. TMZ reports they took down his Give, Send, Go that had made almost $630,000 after his murder conviction. My point is, why does Kyle Rittenhouse still have a Give, Send, Go account up? This man traveled across state lines. His mother took him there. He killed people with an AK and is celebrated, invited to the White House. Why don't they remove his Give, Send, Go account? And if you remember the racist Cinnabon worker, Crystal, who had a Give, Send, Go, and she raised up to $132,000 for calling people the N-word. So in America, apparently, racism does pay. It's disgusting. If they took down Karmelo's account, they need to take down every other single racist that is getting money on that platform. Secret Service Sam Out Sampson for president of.
Okay, I absolutely agree. I absolutely agree. And another thing that I pointed out to you all before, in the case of Kyle Rittenhouse, or Rottenhouse, as I like to call him, his mother is the one who drove him across state lines, not a friend. In the initial reports, they clearly said that it was his mother. But after he was arrested and charged and all of that, then they started saying that it was a friend. You know why they lied and said it was a friend? Because they didn't want to press charges on his mother, because she absolutely should have gone to jail for that. Okay, taking a minor across state lines with an illegal purchased weapon. Okay, an illegally purchased weapon. Okay, so these are the things that they do when the person that is accused is white. So people saying that, oh, this shouldn't be about race. It's always about race in this country. Sadly, this is the truth of it. Now, with that all being said, let's talk about the Asian boycott. Okay, I want you all to see how white people who have absolutely nothing to do with the Asian boycott, but they have so much to say. Why are they even concerned? Okay, I have questions. Now, I'm going to go to this guy who clearly looks like Malibu's most wanted, and he's talking all the smack about Black people boycotting the Asians, which is clearly, as I said, none of his effing business.
So the Black community is boycotting Asian businesses? You think you're about to boycott some shit? Just wait till they stop accepting EBT. You don't want to support Asian businesses? Who gives a fuck? Don't get your nails done. Don't wear one of them ugly ass weaves and throw that PS5 in the fucking trash can. It's crazy to me to see the links that the Black community will go to prove their point that they're fucking mad and they need justice when a Black kid dies at the hands of someone of a different color. But nobody says shit when a Black kid kills another Black kid. The leading cause of death for Black kids in America is homicide by firearms. 90% of those homicides were done by other Black kids. So where the fuck is your rage and your anger at for that shit? A black kid gets killed by an Asian man due to a misunderstanding, and y'all want to boycott the whole fucking...
Okay, I can't listen to no more of this bullshit. A young black boy loses his life after being racially profiled, because that's what it was. He got racially profiled, and black people are talking about accountability and boycotting, and here come this white boy. No condolences to that child's family. He just goes straight into bullshit, statistics he doesn't even understand, and deflection. That is exactly what white people do. This is a prime example of what the fuck white people always do. They hit you with deflection. They can't even address the situation at hand. They want to deflect from the actual issue. His first instinct, it wasn't to rally behind black people. It wasn't to rally behind the black community. It was to police that black outrage the black community has and try to tell us how we should respond, how we should feel, and what we should focus on. Trying to lecture us and then trying to reduce what happened to a fucking misunderstanding. There wasn't no fucking misunderstanding. That was racially profiled. They chased that motherfucker down. What are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about misunderstanding? This is why I don't like when white people start talking on black issues, because they don't, first of all, they fucking stupid. They don't understand shit. And then they get right into deflection. They get right into deflecting. A black child being profiled, suspected, followed, and then killed is not a fucking misunderstanding. And this is exactly why black people are talking about boycotting businesses, these Asian businesses that profit from black people but don't respect black life. They don't respect black people at all. So why the fuck would we not want to boycott? I can't stand these fucking devils, boy. I can't stand them. And then here comes this whole, their typical response, the black on black crime shit. He totally deviated from the fucking point. We know what the fuck going on in our community. The community activists talk about it. The parents talk about it. The church talk about it. Neighborhood organizations talk about it. Black social media talks about it. The news talks about it. Black people have been talking about black violence in the black community for decades. So what the fuck are you talking about? Like, dude, I can't stand white people. The fact that you don't hear more about those conversations says more about you and what you choose to pay attention to than it does what black people are fucking discussing. And I hate when they bring up statistics they don't even understand. A biased statistic to then deviate from the actual issue that's going on.
Let's go to the statistics that he was talking about. Okay, let's go to the numbers. Now, I've told you all numerous of times that the statistics say that it's very close between blacks killing blacks as well as whites killing whites. So here's what it says. Let me see if I can enlarge this a little bit. Now, as you should be able to see, I typed in percentage of whites killed by whites versus the percentage of blacks killed by blacks. Approximately 80 to 84%. Okay, that's more than half. That's the majority. Approximately 80 to 84% of white homicide victims are killed by white offenders, and approximately 88 to 90% of black homicide victims are killed by black offenders. Criminologists classify most violent crimes in the United States as intraracial, occurring between people of the same race. Okay? The same race. These trends are consistently documented in official crime reports. White homicide victims, according to expanded homicide data from the FBI Crime Data Explorer, about 81% of white victims are killed by white offenders. Black homicide victims. The FBI Crime Data Explorer indicates that roughly 89% of black victims are killed by black offenders. So as you can see, it's very close. Okay, the percentages are very close. So if they want to talk about black on black crime, they should also at the same time talk about white on white crime. Now, it says these statistics reflect patterns in geographic and neighborhood segregation, as most homicides are committed by someone the victim knows. And I've told you all this before 1,000 times, such as an acquaintance, partner, or family member. Okay? The Bureau of Justice Statistics track these victimization trends in detail through the National Crime Victimization Survey. So when they say anything about black on black crime, all they're doing is deflecting. That's all they're doing, trying to change the conversation and spewing propaganda, because otherwise they talk about white on white crime and every other racist crime, but they only want to point the finger of blame and shame at us because that's just what they do. Okay, so let's go to the next set of videos. Likes up, everyone, please. Like and share. Thank you in advance.
The Department of Corruption has come out to start making comments and statements about Black culture. Oh my God, we have sincerely hit a new ceiling, y'all. Or we broke one. They are just sick and tired of hearing about our rap music. They're tired of seeing our baggy clothes. They're tired of telling us to pull our pants up. They're tired of telling us to turn our music down.
Forgot I was muted. Now just look at how all of them are so entrenched in Black culture, braiding their hair, wearing the chains and all of that. Even the racist guy who was going in on Black people, he looked like the guy from Malibu's Most Wanted, okay, with the long braids in his hair, the long plaits, okay, and then with the chain on and all of that, trying to emulate our culture, okay, but hating us and talking trash about us disrespectfully at the same time, being a whole racist, just like this guy right here. Just like this guy right here. You hate us so much, but you want to be so much like us. Is that why you hate us? Because you want to be like us? Of course it is. And they know they can never be. So the best thing they can do is to hate on us and try to make us as miserable as they are, because that's what the game is all about. Let's continue.
Straighten our hair and look more like them. They're tired of it. They just don't want to see or deal with us anymore. Because that's what everyone's thinking, right?
I come on here to tell y'all that I am not boycotting Asian restaurants. I'm not boycotting Asian like nail techs. You know why? Because I never shopped with them motherfuckers anyway. They were racist to me when I worked for Chase Bank. Asian people hated Blacks. I've been discriminated against here in Norman. The little Asian lady lived next door to me. She was selling parking spots, parking people behind my house because we had a duplex, and she was getting paid for it because we lived by the OU Stadium. So people will pay to park in your yard if they can walk to the stadium from your yard. But she was getting paid for spots behind my apartment. So I went over and asked, I said, how are you parking people in my yard and getting paid and not giving me part of the money? Well, the next week, she blocked it off where they couldn't park behind my house. Anyway, she didn't want me to make no money, so there's that. I've been cursed out over the phone, talked crazy too by them because they knew I was Black over the phone. So, yeah, I'm not boycotting because I never liked Chinese food anyway. I never got my nails done anyway. My nails are natural. I don't deal with them. I don't buy fake hair because I got hair. So, I ain't going to boycott them, but I'm glad y'all are, because that man should have been found guilty for killing that baby over that damn bottle of water. And I don't care what you say, they've been getting away with being racist toward us for a long time. And I feel like this, even during the pandemic, they were throwing people out over there in China. They were being racist during the pandemic too. So I hope they all go out of business. And even though I'm not boycotting, I'm on here to tell y'all go ahead and take that black dollar back. Let them see. I never did shop at Target either, so I never did have to boycott them. If you ain't never shopped with them or they ain't never got none of my money. So I'm happy for Black people standing up for their rights. I love y'all.
Okay, absolutely. Now, with that being said, just anticipate, said Queen, I thought about you yesterday. I almost pulled over to take a picture of two people outside a beauty supply store. Okay, at the end of the day, people are taking pictures and they're recording the emptiness of these beauty supply stores as well as the nail salons. Many of them are very empty. And if you saw two people standing outside, I wonder if they were waiting to go in and purchase something, or maybe they were going to go in and film. Okay, at the end of the day, I believe most Black people are absolutely going to continue with the ban on them. It's not even a boycott, it's a ban, because we don't intend on going back to them ever. But I wonder how many people are going to break Okay, how many people are going to just crack along the way and go back? And how many people, you know, are just going to stay with it? Okay, because that's what we absolutely need to do. So just anticipate. Thank you for your insight into the topic and your contribution to the channel, beloved. I appreciate you. Peace, love, and blessings.
Imagine if black women all across the world stopped buying hair products for 1 month, just one. Here's what would happen day by day. We'll never guess what happens by day 30. Day 1, major retailers panic. Beauty supply stores, Amazon, even Tesco and Target see a dip. They start calling emergency meetings and wondering if it's a boycott. Day 2 to 4, Korean and South Asian owned distributors start calling store owners and wondering what's going on with these orders. Meanwhile, social media is flooded with DIY hair care tips, product swaps, and natural styles. Day 5 to 7, stocks start sitting still and weekly targets are getting missed. So online stores try and do flash sales, but black women aren't budging. Days 8 to 12, media picks it up, think pieces drop, and news segments with headlines saying black beauty dollar disappearing. And those influencers, the ones who were silent, they start picking sides. Days 13 to 17, some beauty store owners start posting public apologies. Others double down. We've always supported the community. And a few offer black brands better shelf placements out of fear. Days 18 to 21, smaller black-owned hair care brands start to see a surge. Those ones who are still handmade and sell directly to consumer. Instagram and TikTok lives are flooded with founders, recipe sharing, and real talks about ingredients. Days 22 to 25, big brands start panicking. Emails start going out to their multicultural consultants. Marketing teams rush out apology rebrands. We hear you, we see you. Basically, just buy us again. Days 26 to 29, store revenue between the US and the UK beauty sector drop millions. You guys are making me want to start a revolution. Investors start to notice, product managers and retail buyers get fired. Quiet calls start to go out. Can we partner with black founders now? Day 30, a full month later, and it's clear. The black beauty consumer isn't just a niche. She is the market. And for once, she knows it. We talk about power, but if we decided to actually use it, like are you deep in that? Game over. Follow if you're done watching passively. And we decode the myth. And we don't clap for crumbs.
Understand, I'm not saying we need to bring back internment camps, and there is no we. I'm the one who said this. Remember, Asians are not a monolith. But I do feel like we need to suffer because we haven't learned from the suffering of our past. Dean Cain was a direct descendant of an internment camp survivor, and he was the first one to sit there and try to put on an ice vest and vote MAGA. Hundreds of Koreans were just deported last year after being detained. They were all here legally. Some of them were American citizens. Yet the Koreans were the first ones up in a roar about side-eyeing white people in the fucking Asian market. We've learned nothing. Filipinos were kidnapped and put into a zoo and forced to eat dog for everybody to see. But yet titas at an alarming rate marry white men and teach their children anti-blackness. We've learned nothing. The whole Chinese Exclusion Act targeting the railroad workers who are here to help build our infrastructure, and yet Rick Chow murdered a baby. We've learned nothing. Oh, I do wish for the safety and the prosperity for the Asian community as a whole, all of us, regardless of what ethnicity you are. I don't feel like that should be at the expense of the black community. Until we learn to teach our future generations the suffering that we have and where our place is in this society, we deserve to suffer. Because any liberation or any privilege given to us at the expense of another community is not true liberation, it is weaponization. And until you learn that, and until you understand that, until we teach our future generations that, we deserve to suffer too.
All right, so I know this is going to be an unpopular take, but I am a black man. Can't stop from being a black man, love being a black man. I am a person of color. Asians are people of color. And I know that there's a boycott going on, and hey, people got to do what they feel is right. I'm not going to participate in any boycott right now. I can see that a lot of times there are going to be elements that is going to try to separate people from people. I understand what went down in South Carolina, It was unfortunate. And it is what it is. But I will not be participating in any type boycott. Me and mine, that's just going to be what it is. But this boycott and all that, I'm not participating. We're people of color, and it'll work its way out one way or the other. But I know when some element is sowing seeds of dissension for a reason. So sometimes you got to be smart about what's going on. But hey, do you?
First of all, he thinks that he's so smart. He's trying to act as though he knows something that we all don't. Talking about he knows when there's something going on or being pushed for a reason. The bottom line is the reason is because Rick Chow took the life of a 14-year-old black boy. Okay, and he got no consequences for his actions. So we're going to make sure that he gets consequences, and not just him, those who are complicit in what he did. And the reason I say that the entire Asian community is complicit is because they've not come out ever. They're coming out now, but they have not ever come out and showed that they stand with the African American FBA Black community. They've never come out and done that in the recent years. Okay, in the recent decades, they've not collectively come out and done it. They may have done it in the 60s, early 70s even, but they have not done it in the last few decades. And they have seen the things that have been done to Black people, and people need to stop trying to act and pretend as though this is only about the Rick Chow verdict, because it's about a myriad of things that they've done to us, to disrespect us, to harm us over decades, from Latasha Harlins in 1991 until now. Okay, and all in between. They have beaten Black people in their salons. They have humiliated Black people, accusing them of theft, calling the police, having them handcuffed, only for them to be searched and nothing found. And they offer no apologies, like I told you all before. Okay, I know I'm fed up with it, and everyone that is Black should be. Who's ever patronized their businesses, you should be fed up with it. Okay, you want our money? You want us to fund you to build your generational wealth for you? Okay, and that's the thing that Black people need to start thinking about. Many Black people don't even have your own generational wealth. You're not even building generational wealth for yourself and your children and grandchildren, but yet giving all of your money to other people outside of our community who don't care anything about us. Who wouldn't spit on us if we were on fire? Okay, please pay attention.
So I just saw a video of someone saying, "Dear white women," and then the caption said, "They want to be like you." And my question is, who wants to look like a white woman? Because I am pretty sure there is nobody on this planet that wants to look like a white woman in any way, shape, or form. And I don't know the creator's name because I couldn't find his tag, but it was probably one of the most offensive things that you could say to Black women. I am really trying to figure out what the obsession with Black women is, because I don't get it, and I don't think I'm ever going to be able to get it. Because Black women will just exist, and they are the #1 demographic that gets mentioned the most unprovoked. And that's why everybody, no matter what your race is, should speak up, because that's wrong.
The audacity, the level of entitlement to think that you can dictate how someone else decides to spend their money. There's still a mental ownership that other races of people wish to maintain over us. We're expected to rally in the streets for everyone's causes. We're expected to vote a certain way. We're expected to spend our money with certain people. And if we don't do those things, apparently we're racist, or we're not a POC ally, as if everything that we've done in this country hasn't laid the groundwork for everyone else to come here and have any semblance of success. I just need people to remember that Black people are not anyone's slaves, physically or mentally.
That's right.
Oh,
That's right, because now they're trying to say that basically, we're not their allies. We're hating on them. We're amping up the anti-Asian hate and all of that. No, we're not. We haven't done any of that. So what are they talking about? Now, this lady right here says she's not going to boycott them, and she tries to discourage the rest of us from doing so, okay, by talking about how we're not going to stick together and all of that. How does she know? Okay, how does she know?
I tried to boycott Asian businesses, but I couldn't. I went and got my nails done by them yesterday. Because number one, we're not set up for this. Black businesses aren't set up for this. Number two, salon suites are everywhere. You got to book out, and it was 2 weeks for her to see me and everything like that, which is good for her because it's good for business. But I needed my nails done yesterday. Number two, everybody's going to continue to have salon suites because they don't get along with each other. You don't never see a healthy work environment with 4 or 5 stylists in one salon and they all get along. That's why everybody went to salon suites. And if you think about it, people who do nails and hair, they don't even like their customers. they act like they don't even like us. All these rules and regulations you got to follow before getting there. Have your hair washed, have it blow dried. She's not working over somebody else's work. When it comes to the nails, I'm not soaking off somebody else's nails. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. They don't like customers. They don't like each other. It's rare that a salon or a nail place full of black women works in a healthy environment. They're not going to do that. So we're not set up for this boycott. We need them. Honestly, we need them. Like, what are we going to do?
Now, she sounds real ignorant, okay? She's saying we need them. No, we don't. She may feel that she needs them, but we do not. And what she's doing is, like I said, she's trying to discourage the rest of us so she's not a standout. Okay, so nobody's calling her the raccoon that she actually is at the end of the day. Okay, she caved. She said she can't do it. She tried to do it. No, you didn't. Okay, she posted this video like 2 days after we mentioned it. Okay, so you clearly didn't try, and you clearly had no intentions ever of boycotting them, and that's all fine. But what are you coming out telling us for? You could have just kept that to yourself. And furthermore, you didn't have to come out trying to discourage us by trying to tell us we can't do it. We absolutely can do it. We've done it before. Okay, we've done it before, and we can do it again. Now, like I said, if she wants to continue going to them, then feel free. Okay, because you can't save everybody. Okay, some people are going to have to be left behind. They just will.
Book 2 weeks out in advance. There's no convenience when it comes to the nail techs in my area. So I don't know, y'all. Good luck. I gotta go to the Asians. And what about I gotta take my braids out soon. Where am I gonna get the hair? From you that got it from the Asians? What are we doing? We need a real plan, one that's gonna work.
She sounds real stupid. She seems to think that the only place that you can purchase the hair from is from the Asians, as if there are not black-owned beauty supply stores as well, as if you can't have the ability to order it online. Okay, what is she talking about? They even have vending machines in malls and other places where you can purchase hair. Okay, that's how convenient it is these days. She's acting as though you don't have options. You absolutely do have options. And this is why it's so bad for them, because we don't need them. Maybe at one point we felt like we did, but we don't. We absolutely do not. Yes, absolutely, the plan is working, Nene. It absolutely is working for those of us who choose to work the plan. But people like her, they're just going to do what they want to do. And like I said, that's fine, because luckily for us, they're the minority. The majority of us are standing firm.
Well, first of all, sister, I don't think we should be sitting here talking about we need somebody. Only thing we need is the Most High. And when you telling somebody you need them, you automatically giving them power. It only been a few days possibly when she made this video. She said she got to go get her nails done, and now she got to take her hair out. She can't wait 2 weeks to get her nails done. So we back spending money. It would never work in this situation anyway, because the beauty standard has been set so high. Because online, if your nails ain't done, people are like, "Ooh, look at her nails." Your hair ain't done. People are always talking. So right now we already set up to fail in this, and they know that. You know what I mean? They got the market on lock. So I do understand.
So I just saw a video of someone saying, "Dear white women," and then
about awareness for the laundromats. Let's give it to the liquor stores as well.
Black people have one of the largest whiskey distilleries in this country, and we own over 175 different liquor stores. I think we'll be okay.
Get rid of the Jordans you guys wear, the Nikes you wear.
The number one consumers of Nike are white people. So...
the shower caps, the Hondas, the Hyundais, all your car electricians, the electronics in your house. the Sony, the TV system, your sound system, the microphones that you guys use to rap and speak about awareness for the black culture and hip hop.
I hate to burst your bubble like I've been doing this entire video, but
Okay, clearly he doesn't know that a black man invented the microphone. Okay, he needs to sit down somewhere. Now, Inga says, Queen, I absolutely love your commentary. Thanks for always providing receipts. Well, thank you, beloved. I appreciate you for your kind words and your contribution to the channel. Peace, love, and blessings. Okay, so this man's just talking all this trash. And listen, the Asian community is upset with him right now because they feel like he's the one that really pushed us to do the boycott, and he is. Because there were some people who may not have gone through with it until he came out talking all of that trash. And now he's deleted all of his social media. I thought he just deleted the video, but he's deleted all of his social media accounts. Okay, please pay attention.
we don't need y'all for microphones. We invented the microphone.
Culture. What do you think that's made in? That's made all in Asia.
You seem to be confused about the difference between created and manufactured. People don't need to get their things manufactured from you.
And here's another thing for you guys. You guys want us to leave the neighborhood so bad? Oh, Asian people are not neighborhoods? We're in white neighborhoods. We have our own Chinatown. We have our own Koreatown.
Yes, we know. There was an entire era in this country called Yellow Peril where white people didn't fuck with you. And honestly, they still don't. But by all means, feel very yellow and free to take your asses to the white neighborhood.
You think we really need you guys to benefit off and make money?
Yeah. The lie detector test determined that was the truth. You needed us for the 1924-1964 Heart Sellers Act. You needed us for the Chinese Exclusion Act. You need us to tether yourselves to the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment so that you can validate why you shouldn't be deported from this country. So I'd say yeah. Yeah. I'd say yeah. The white people certainly aren't coming to your nail salons and your hair stores to buy weave from you. So... But that's okay, because now we won't be either. See how that works?
A lot of us do go to college as well. You're being outworked by immigrants who barely speak English.
You can't outwork the people who built the literal colleges that you and your children are going to, that we have been going to since the 1700s, that wouldn't even exist or be physical buildings if it weren't for the labor of my people. So let's not compare your small percentage of immigrants in this country to our total population, because that's a battle that you're going to lose every fucking time. And don't even get me started on your scamming ass, cheating ass ways, because we all know that y'all be cheating on standardized testing. We have the receipts. Would you like to see them? Y'all see this? I know y'all see this. Y'all see this? You can't win if you ain't right within. How you doing better than us and you gotta cheat?
Okay, so if you all can't see that, she's showing how more than 2,000 Chinese students were caught cheating on national pharmacist test. Okay, caught cheating more than once too, mind you, but they're supposed to be so much smarter than everybody else. Okay, like she said, if you're so smart, why are you cheating?
And you're not embarrassed?
Are you not embarrassed? For making this raggedy ass video with no receipts or facts? Are you not embarrassed for justifying why black people don't want to buy from you because y'all repetitively engage in murdering our children? Are you not embarrassed?
Go to the bank, start your own businesses, and deal with your own people.
There have been at least 134 documented black-owned banks in this country, and we started having them in the 1800s. We don't need a lecture on starting black banks. Certainly not from people who want to deflect to crashing out because we're telling them that we're not going to support them because they keep murdering our children.
I want to see your own women get on their hands and knees and do pedicures and manicures and deal with nasty ass attitudes.
You think we don't have black nail techs? Ladies and gentlemen, receipts.
It's okay. Boycott Asian business. I'm all for it.
And will.
And let me just say that there's a deeper meaning here. This is about reciprocity and respect. This isn't even about the boycott. It's about the fact that the people who advocated for you to come here, you now think it's appropriate to murder our children in cold blood and that we should still do business and give you our money. Absolutely not.
But the fact that you're more worried and more outraged about us boycotting your businesses than you are about our children being murdered tells us everything that we need to know. And so moving forward, the door is closed and there's absolutely no coming back from this. Please don't cry on the way out. You've made your choices.
Now, that was a very good point that she made. That was a very good point that she made when she said that they're more concerned about us boycotting them and them not getting our money than they are about our children being killed. So she absolutely made a very valid point. Okay, let's continue.
Convenience store, they thought he stole a bottle of water and he shot him and they got it.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize
he stole a bottle of water.
Uh-oh. I didn't realize that was muted. Hold on, let me just scroll back.
From going into the nail salon. I feel like I might have just ambushed you, so I'm sorry to you, lady. But this is what happened, y'all. Is anybody in that nail shop? Is it customers in there? How many? About 3? That's 3 too many. We on an Asian business boycott. That means food and everything. Yeah, because when they killed that boy Cyrus, that little 14-year-old black boy, yeah, the Asians came out and started talking junk about how we need them in our community. They said, who you gonna buy your liquor from? Oh no, man, we doing an Asian boycott, man. Don't go in there. We're boycotting Asian businesses. We got a black nail salon right across the street. Walk-ins welcome. We're not supporting them no more, sister. I'm trying to tell you. You do what you. No, I'm just trying to inform you. I'm not trying to tell you. As I'm trying to inform you, there really is a Asian boycott going on in the black community. A lot of people aren't on social media, which is where it originated, because that's where the insult started. There was an Asian little boy there was a black little boy that got shot. His name was Cyrus. He was 14 years old, and he went inside of an Asian convenience store. They thought he stole a bottle of water, and he shot him, and they got it. So the conviction, he got away with it. The trial was last week. After that, a lot of people in the Asian community that own businesses came out and started talking about how we don't need them. If we boycott them, that it's not going to mean anything to them because we need them. They're so embedded in our community. Where you going to get your liquor from? Where you going to get your nails done? Where you going to get your eyelashes? Where you going to buy your weave hair at? This is what it says. So we are supporting intentionally black-owned businesses. Now, if you would let me I'm sorry, I'm just passionate. I was trying to just get your attention. Right across the street, the golden nail, the gold nail, it's a black-owned walk-in salon across the street, and it's called the Gold Luxury Nail Bar, and it's right next door to the Planet Fitness. The owner is KK, and they do beautiful service. It's another black-owned hair store that's right there in Fairburn, and it's another one over there in it's a lot of them in Jonesboro. You just have to look intentionally. That's all I'm trying to say. Just be intentional, because we can't keep spending our money with them. We're trying to rebuild our own wealth and invest in ourselves right now. And so I'm just trying to spread the word. I just happen to be riding pants. Okay, so I just want to. It's called the Luxury Nail Bar. No, we have to listen. That man said something wrong. He said we don't need them. He said we need them. We're gonna give them. Yeah.
Now look how empty the business is. There's literally no one in there.
See, I'm on the move with my royals by my side. What since we got you spread rumors, we still shine. All you never broadcast through my head. We waving you away. We got love that
and soul, and that's here to stay.
Okay, so they're even teaching Black women how to do their own nails, okay, for $100+. Okay, that's not bad at all. Okay, they actually teach you that in cosmetology school now as well. I mean, they've been doing that for decades, clearly, but they used to not have it. Okay, so anyway, with that all being said, as you all can see, the ban is on, okay? They can be mad all they want, and I don't even know why racist white people are trying to interject themselves, okay, why they're trying to even get involved. Has nothing to do with them. Greta says, Target said, we don't need your black dollars, so Asians dared us to boycott as if we would not. Okay, well, Target found out the hard way. They absolutely found out the hard way. They lost billions of dollars. Okay, they lost billions of dollars. And then they started singing a whole different tune. Okay, so the Queen, look at your chat. Why are you telling me to look at the chat, beloved? Don't you boycott being a troll. Hold on, is there a troll in here? Hold on. Moderators, I need y'all working. I need you all working. Boycott the computer, microphone, and phone you're using. We don't have to boycott those things because we didn't say that we're going to boycott China. Those things are made and manufactured in China. We're not talking about China. Let's not gaslight and deflect and try to change the narrative. We're boycotting the Asian businesses in our community, not China. It has nothing to do with items and projects that are manufactured in China. And let us not forget that a Black man made the microphone. Okay, please sit down somewhere. Nikes and Jordan, Black people, Michael Jordan, okay, is the one who came out with those. Okay, so please sit down. Okay, right? Please sit down. Now, because the U.S. allows China to make some of their items because they get cheap labor, that doesn't have anything to do with this boycott. As I have said before, okay? I don't know why the trolls even bother. Okay, I do not know why the trolls even bother. They have obtuse arguments. Okay, they are going off of their own opinions, not facts. They bring no receipts to the table ever. That's what they don't do. And you know that they're mad and butthurt and pressed and bent out of shape because they're trolling. If they weren't bothered, they wouldn't even be here. And that goes for not only the trolls about the Asian ban, but also the trolls about the Karmelo Anthony trial. Okay, they're pressed because they know that the truth is finally coming out and they know that conviction is going to be overturned one way or another. They know it. We're going to get justice. Okay. So with that all being said, I'm going to conclude the broadcast. I'll be back at 2. For those of you who want to see the war updates, make sure you tune in. And let me just go ahead and put that link in the chat. Let me go ahead and put that link in the chat real quick. Actually, I don't need to put the link in the chat. I just thought about it. I don't need to put the link in the chat because there's not going to be a live chat on the replay for anyone who watches it after because I have to edit the video. Okay, so with that all being said, I want to thank you all for tuning in. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I have to edit the video because music was playing at one point on that girl's video and I didn't hear it until it was too late. Okay, so with that all being said, I want to thank you all for tuning in. Please like and share. Okay, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already. Double check to make sure you're still subscribed. And also, don't forget to tune in to the next broadcast. Each one, teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. And always remember, beloveds, to keep the Most High first in your lives. Until next time, peace.
Sold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen. Why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunta. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations, America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest house right now. See a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all at Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threats. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got